Hey, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Making sure we are live. We are live. That's right. It's December 11th. The hell happened to the new year? What the hell happened to the year? December already. My goodness. It's a Monday. Rabbit. Hope you all are having a good one. My name's Tom Coffee. We're at the socials at Coffee and Nuance. You can follow me on X over there on at Coffee and Nuance. We're live right now. I just double checked. We're live. YouTube and on Rumble. Rumble.com/coffeenuance/live. Just bookmark it. Just bookmark it. Just do it. That way you won't miss unbelievable broadcasts like this one right now, today. Yes, indeed. Oh, it's like I just want to start and I have to sneeze. Do you have that? I know they say that you can think about not sneezing and you won't sneeze, but it's like right there. Oh, man. Okay, let's see if I can make it through the monologue without the sneeze. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ever-evolving circus of information, where the news we consume isn't just news anymore, it's an ideological battleground. Remember the good old days when the newspaper thwacked against your front door like an alarm clock for your brain? Well, or when Walter Cronkite's reassuring voice guided the nation through tumultuous times? Well, those days are as ancient as dial-up internet. Yeah. Now, where do we get our news? Not just CNN, Fox News. No, it's your uncle's Facebook feed and some idiot on TikTok. We've gone from sitting around the dinner table arguing about the evening paper to arguing in the comments at 3 a.m. with someone who goes by the name Slice of Insanity 42. Sure, there's charm in having access to an endless stream of information at our fingertips. But here's the rub. The information, it's a bit like a mystery meat in the school cafeteria. You remember that. You don't always know what's in it, where it came from, who's behind it, and yet we feast on it voraciously. Social media and these new indie news sources, it's like a buffet of knowledge. You got your organic, locally sourced truth next to the deep-fried conspiracy theories, and sometimes it's hard to tell which is which because they all come with a side of credibility. Yeah. And what does this have to do with our view of the world? Well, folks, it's like looking through a kaleidoscope. Depending on which outlet you've tuned into, the world either seems like a utopia, on the verge of peace and prosperity, or a dystopian hellscape teetering on the brink of collapse. Reality becomes this elusive chameleon, changing shades with each click, like a mood ring. It was a thing in the 70s, kids. But here's the kicker. The power is in our hands. We are the gatekeepers of our own reality. Choosing our news sources is like picking our diet. It shapes us. It molds us. It determines how healthy our understanding of the world is. And trust me, folks, an information diet of fast food facts and half-baked opinions is no different than living off a diet of cheeseburgers and milkshakes. Tasty in the moment, disastrous in the long run. So what's my takeaway? Choose wisely, my friends. Don't just swallow whatever's thrown at you. Question it. Chew on it. Love of all that's factual. Fact check it. Our view of the world depends on our lenses we wear. And in this digital age, it's easy to put on some rose-tinted goggles without even realizing it. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee and Nuance Show. Best censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. So yeah, that's the first thing that I want to talk about is just choosing our news, because we've got some new news sources that I want to talk about here in just a second. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. I appreciate you. You know what they say? They say all the cool kids hit the like button. And when I say 50 likes, I mean someday we're going to get 50 likes. Just so you know, this past week is the first week of the year that the channel on YouTube has actually grown in a positive direction. Yeah, for the first time. Been losing people all year. Now, slight uptick. That's a good sign. That's a good sign for me. It's a good sign for you. Anyway, where we choose to get our news is really important. I know because when I'm trying to put together this show, obviously I have to source news. And I look. And there's some stories that come up, and when I search for them, they're not covered by a lot of outlets. A lot of outlets don't even cover certain stories. And so if you rely on those outlets alone, you're not going to get those stories. It's pretty shocking. And I know in my personal life, when I talk to people about things, I'll ask, hey, did you hear about this? And I know that they haven't heard about it because I know what their news sources are. I know they have no clue about this story. That could be a very, very big story. I have a close friend that relies on the local NPR station for most of his news. And so I just know what stories he didn't hear. I know what stories he didn't hear. But I don't think you really get it unless, like, if you could just jump into my shoes, like to prepare for one show, and you just start looking at things, like you'll start to notice some patterns, and you'll start to notice how things are covered by different news outlets. It's very interesting. Although if you don't see it firsthand, you're not going to take my word for it. No. In fact, you may just write me off as some conspiracy nut. Because that sounds crazy. And that's the conundrum that we're in. How do we get people in our lives to open up their news diet to maybe taking in some news that from sources that are not that they don't know? There we go. Okay. Anyway, we got a good show today. This is kind of the theme, and you will see that as we go along. But first up, we've got to talk about a brand new news network coming very soon. Maybe it's here now. I don't know. Former Fox News host Tucker Carlson has started his own subscription streaming service, the Tucker Carlson Network. For $9 a month, he's offering interviews, documentaries, and access to his inbox. Carlson believes major global changes are imminent and thinks mainstream media won't help people understand them. After leaving Fox News, he began a free show on a platform X, interviewing controversial figures. Now, he's hoping his 11 million followers will pay for exclusive content on his new service, to paying for multiple streaming platforms. It's going to be a tough sell, but and $9. I mean, $9 is a lot. I suspect he's going to do an excellent job. That's what I suspect. It's going to be great. And $9 today, well, I mean, that's what $5 was 2 years ago, in my opinion. a chimichanga at my local restaurant. I remember not too long ago when they took it from $7.50 to $8. And I was like, oh my God, chimichanga's going up to $8? That's incredible. Now, it's $13.50. Wasn't that long ago. All the tacos, they went from like $1.25 or $1.50, depending on the meat, to now you can't get a taco for less than $3. And I'm talking like the little tiny ones that you got to get a plate full. So $9 for Tucker Carlson. I guess it's like what $5 was before the pandemic. I'm sure if you have a regular job and you're making, your household income is over 6 figures or something, $9 is not a big deal. For me, it's a big deal. For me, it's a big deal. And I will say, I'm just throwing it out there, but if anybody signs up and wants to share their password with me, I'd take a look at it. So, just saying. Anyway. But I think he's going to do a great job. I hope he continues to publish a lot of the stuff on X for free. And I think that would be a good model for him. That'd be a good model for me. If I could afford, a staff or a helper, something. I would love to put out more content as well. And in fact, I will have an update for you in the after show about the content that I'm putting out. But I'm excited about this Tucker Carlson network. I think it's going to be great. I think it makes me think that I need to revamp kind of the look of my show and exactly what I'm doing. Because who knows? Who knows? Maybe this can be a show on the Tucker Carlson network. I know you may think, oh, that's insane. That's insane. Well, there are a lot of insane things happening in the world today. In fact, let's get to insanity story. The next insanity story. So, Argentina's new president, Javier Milei, confronted a dire economic landscape in his inaugural address, emphasizing the urgency of swift action amid soaring inflation, currency devaluation, widespread poverty. Advocating for drastic public spending cuts, Milei aims to address the nation's fiscal deficits and debts. Despite his earlier radical stance, he's taken a more moderate approach, appointing established figures to key positions and postponing immediate sweeping changes like dollarization. He plans to streamline the government while merging ministries, extending an olive branch to collaborate with the political establishment. Milei's evolving leadership style, balancing radical campaign promises with pragmatic governance, remains a point of intrigue amid Argentina's economic turmoil. So, I'm like halfway through his inauguration address. Someone finally posted it with subtitles on X. So if you want to see that, you can actually just go to my Twitter page or X page, whatever it's called. You can click on my account, and I've retweeted it. Or whatever, reposted it, whatever it's called. Anyway, this is odd. All of a sudden, I don't know what's going on with Rumble. Nobody's over on Rumble. That's weird. We're all on YouTube today. Now, I saw that Rumble may have been having an issue earlier. I actually have it up live on my computer, so I know that it's working, at least for me. Yeah. Anyway, so if you want to check out his entire inauguration address, I think it's, I'm fascinated by the guy. really interested in what's happening there in Argentina, and yeah, I hope to be planning my trip very, very shortly. So stay tuned for that. But does anybody care about any other countries outside of the U.S., like what's happening in their politics? Because I think that this is a sign. If you can have some kind of radical outsider win in one place, why couldn't they win in another place? Well, it happened here with Trump. He was a really well-known outsider. But, I think these things can happen here. And I think that you can go after problems. It doesn't have to be this tiny little incrementalism, which is what we've been doing in this country for so long. Let's just inch along in making changes. Could just go for a more radical approach, like what's happening in Argentina. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. And now I got an update for you. Yeah. Did you see the interview on X with Tucker Carlson? And he spoke with Gonzalo Lira, his father. Yeah. Gonzalo Lira, an American citizen journalist, is imprisoned in Ukraine after criticizing the government and the Biden administration's handling of the Russian invasion. His father accused the Biden administration of complicity in his son's imprisonment, alleging the U.S. State Department did little to assist him despite claiming to do so. Lira faces charges under Ukraine's wartime propaganda laws for his opinions and videos about the conflict. Both Elon Musk and Senator J.D. Vance raised concerns about the situation, questioning the lack of response from the Biden administration, especially considering the substantial financial support given to Ukraine. Now, despite ongoing funding requests from Ukraine, President Biden has not addressed Lira's case publicly. Well, I think that this is really good news that Tucker did this interview just in time, because we know that Zelensky is coming here to meet with Congress to try to get more money. Perhaps there will be some advances in this. And also, I did see that his first court date, I believe, is tomorrow. Gonzalo's first court date is tomorrow. According to his dad, he hasn't been able to talk to a lawyer that speaks English. Nice. Well, that's democracy, right, folks? Oh, man, I tell you. And this comes down to your news sources, because just do a little search for Gonzalo Lira. You can use Google News, and then click on, news. See who's talking about this story. Is the New York Times talking about this story? No. CNN? No. Fox News? No. Any mainstream corporate news talking about this story? No. Is it an important story? Well, you can decide if an American living in Ukraine is being held and is not allowed to talk with an attorney that speaks the language that he speaks, and we're sending them hundreds of billions of dollars. Well, you can decide that for yourself. But my challenge is that how am I supposed to take any news company seriously if they are not covering this story? They're actively hiding this story. They know about this story, right? There's no way they do not know about this story. And they're not covering it. How can you take any news source seriously if they're not talking about this? I don't think you can. I don't think you can. I can't. I can't. So, nice. Google Updater wants to connect to Google. No. Deny. Be nice if I could set my computer not to give me that kind of stuff in the middle of a broadcast, but oh well. Anyway, let me know if you have any thoughts on Gonzalo Lira and the fact that it's not being covered at all. And the next thing, we got something else that may or may not be covered in the corporate media. Harvard President Claudine Gay denied allegations of plagiarism in her academic work, emphasizing the integrity of her scholarship. The denial comes amidst pressure for resignation following a controversial congressional hearing where she faces criticism for not condemning anti-Semitism. Billionaire Bill Ackman highlighted reports of alleged plagiarism in her PhD thesis. While University of Pennsylvania's president stepped down after the hearing, pressure persists for Harvard to take action regarding Gay's position. So actually, I went through and looked up. I think Christopher Rufo did a nice job on his Substack of showing where the president allegedly copied nearly verbatim paragraphs without quotation marks. Some of the times the source was noted in the footnote, but there were no quotation marks. And for the most part, she did change the word black to African American in one of the quotes. So, I mean, like, it's not like word for word. But this does not surprise me at all. And in fact, I have said on this show before that if you were to look up the theses or thesis papers, I guess, of academics now that we have access to cross-reference things, now we can actually dump it into AI and ask questions about it. I think we'll find a lot of plagiarism. I would have bet money that this person plagiarized because they really haven't done anything. It's amazing. This president of Harvard, I think we're the same age. And I think we've published about the same number of books, right? This is a lifelong academic who hasn't published anything. And all the papers that she's ever done have all just been about, oh, it's unfair because of whatever. Gender, race, sexuality, whatever. That's been the entire theme of her career. Looks like an absolute... To me, it appears that she was not hired to be president of Harvard based on anything that she did. It looks to me, in my opinion, that she was hired to be president of Harvard based on all the boxes that she ticks. And you say, how can you say that, Tom? You don't know anything about that. What about all the books she's written? I'm like, yeah, she hasn't written any. That's why. We've written the same amount of books. So, anyway, this doesn't surprise me at all. And frankly, if I were a black lesbian, I would be kind of ticked that this is the type of person that gets career advancement. Because I'm sure, I am positive that there are brilliant black lesbians that are much more qualified than this person here to run universities. But it seems to be that it's just an ideological hire. That's my take. Should we look into other people's plagiarism? I'd be willing to do that. If you know of a high-profile person that has not had their PhD thesis examined, I might just do that. But, you know, send me a comment, send me an email, send me a tweet of someone that it might be fun to find out if they plagiarized too. I think that'd be fun. We could expose it. Of course, if we exposed it here, it wouldn't matter. But perhaps someone else would pick it up. Would pick up the story. Anyway, we need some good news today. We need some good news. So let's get to the good news of the day. Artist Aaron Norris recently crafted a remarkable 6-foot by 6-foot portrait of Tiger Woods using 25,000 golf tees, a blend of new and broken ones. The idea struck Norris while noticing discarded tees on his local golf course. He collected them over the summer and fall, even engaging neighbors in the collection. Roughly half were gathered and the rest were bought for about $400. This unique piece sold shortly after completion. Norris, known for prior sports-related artwork, hasn't used sports equipment until the golf tee project, having previously created pieces like an oil canvas of Muhammad Ali and a mosaic portrait of Elon Musk. So here he is working on his portrait of Tiger Woods. Now, the thing is, I'm just going to call this out. He's just if he were actually doing this himself, if he were deciding how things go, I would be impressed. Anybody can do this, okay? You can just take a photo of something, drop it into Photoshop, pick out the colors that you want to use and have it just create a mosaic based on those colors, based on the picture. So this is an actual picture that he's just doing the golf tees. I think it's kind of cool. But guess what? You could do one too. I've seen people do these with Legos, all kinds of different things. And I don't know, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do a big art piece out of something. Maybe get this channel some recognition. Get somebody to write a couple stories about this channel. We need something to have it grow. Do you have any ideas on what I could make a giant artwork out of? Now, someone's done Rubik's Cubes. That's already taken. Legos, that's already taken. Golf tees, well, that's taken. Do you have any ideas for me? Because we can do it. We can do it. I mean, right now, my fascination is with the new president of Argentina, so I could do like a portrait of Milei made out of, I don't know. Shreds of money. I have no idea. I have no idea. But if you have any ideas on an object that we could make art out of, I think that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. And it's something that you could do as well. I can talk more about that in the future, about how to actually do this. But I've looked into this before, about being able to make portraits out of, you just take pictures and there's a little process that you go through, but you can just do it with Photoshop. You can do it with some free photo editing software to come up with kind of the paint by numbers, if you will, for anything that you want. So if you got any ideas, let me know in the comments. Anyway, that's all the news I have for you today. Stick around for the after show. I got to talk about a number of things, including this show. But stick around for that. And if not, I will be back. I'm going to be back on Wednesday. I'll explain why in the after show. But I'll see you on Wednesday for the next show. Anyway, until then, peace. Okay, absolutely bizarre that Rumble is nothing is happening in Rumble. So look, I'll just take it off. There we go. We'll do that. It saddens me that nothing is on nothing's happening on Rumble today. I'm not sure what's going on. I know Apothecary John said seemed to be having an issue with the Rumble app. So maybe the app is down. I know that the web page is live. But maybe the app is down. Natasha says, I was wondering when you were going to mention Gonzalo. Saw the Tucker Carlson report on him in the interview with his dad last night. I did too. Yeah, I thought it was a great interview. Jesse says, paper route was my first job. I wanted a paper route as a kid. I think all the routes around me were taken. And, like, for me to get a paper route, I would have had to... like, I wouldn't be able to do it from my house unless, like, my parents drove me a couple miles away or something. But also, sometimes I have a hard time waking up. I probably would have been fired from it real quick. Oh, man. Let's get that there. There we go. Oh, man. Anyway, I like, Erie says, I like independent media. Oh, and direct info from the, okay. They tell us exactly what they're doing. Yeah. You know, that's something to keep in mind when someone tells you who they are, you know, believe them. Yeah, street tacos. Love street tacos. I'd volunteer to help, but I can barely do my own. Yeah, I get it. The end goal is still the same regardless of who is in charge of the country. Sometimes. I would like Argentina to reveal to the world if certain people escaped punishment by moving to their country. I think that's well known. I think that's a well-known fact, but yeah, we'll see. Trash from the streets of Portland for the mural. Well, I don't want to be around that. It's a good idea, but yeah, make an art piece out of trash. No painting allowed. Must use the original color of the trash. Tops of beer bottles, perhaps. You know, that would be interesting. Beer bottles, beer caps, bottle caps. That's what they're called, bottle caps. Being able to get a variety of bottle caps. I guess, you know, you'd have to partner with a bar or something. Hey, can I get all these bottle caps? I'm working on a craft project. Perhaps there'd be a way to do that with bottle caps. Giant Lego mosaic portrait. Yeah, Legos aren't cheap. Legos are not cheap. Maybe coffee bags. Lots of colorful coffee bags these days, where the art could be called that repeats around a center point. Something scope. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with something that doesn't cost much. I helped my dad with his side job of delivering papers as a kid, would lay back in the truck and throw the paper out. That sounds cool. You know, nobody's getting the paper anymore. In fact, here in Portland, I think it's starting in the new year. We won't even have a daily paper anymore. They're going to go down to a couple days a week. So they don't even, no daily paper. Yikes. And now we just need to make art of cigarette butts. No. No, I don't think I'd do that anyway, either. So, yeah, this was the 80s. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about what I'm doing here. And, you know, I did the 30 days of twice a day streaming. That was a bit too much for me. I have so many things that I've talked about doing. You know, I need to update the graphics. I need actually a logo for the channel. There's all these little things that I've been wanting to do. And I've been wanting to improve the Midnight Americano show as well, and not just showing up with, you know, a dozen jokes I wrote in the evening as I was, you know, having dinner. So here's my schedule for this week, because I want to present an improved show for you all. The people that watch this show all the time, I appreciate you so much. I want to put together something updated and better for you. So this week, I will be doing my noon or 3 p.m. show, 3 p.m. on the East, noon on the West Coast. I'll be doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. And the Midnight Americano show, I'm going to hold off on that and relaunch it on Friday. Okay, so the first Midnight Americano this week will be on Friday. What I want to do is spend some time and kind of figure out exactly how to put together a better show than what I've been doing. And I know that people like what I'm doing right now, right? People like it already. They're like, you don't have to improve it, Tom. But I do. I feel like I need to do I need to do something better than what I'm doing right now. And so that's why I can't do that if I'm constantly like putting together the show for tonight. Let me put together the show for tomorrow. Then I just don't do anything to make anything better. So that's my plan for the week. Hopefully, paint some smooth rocks. Yeah, maybe rocks. I don't know. I do kind of like the idea of using something, you know, for a mural or a mosaic, of using something that everybody knows, because that is, you know, like the golf tees. That's a really easy story for people to write about, and that's an easy way to get some publicity, is if you use something that everybody knows and that that a lot of people use. So anyway, I'll keep thinking about that. For Midnight Show, use your phone to read chats. They should be faster, especially for connections in Whirl. Yeah, I need to do that. I actually have, you know, like I have a little iPad. I got to find it. I'm not even sure where it is. I let my dad borrow it, and he told me he gave it back to me, but I'm not sure what I did with it. But yeah, I should have my little iPad up to get, to be able to interact better. But I have lots of ideas on what I want to do, and I just need a little extra time to actually work on it without having to worry about the show. So thanks for sticking with me for this. But I hope that when the changes happen, you'll be like, wow, that's really awesome, Tom. I can't believe you're doing this show for this few people, and it's so good. That's the reaction that I want. And so that's what I'm going to be working on this week. But also I have to have a life too. I gotta get out there and do some things. But anyway, I got lots of updates for you. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got some news here. Lucid. Oh man. Oh, this is some great news. I got my surgery today and it's working. I just got in the door. Oh man, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that happened. Please keep us updated on that. But I know that everybody here in the chat is rooting for you and sending you healing vibes. So that's what we can do, is we can all send Lucid some healing vibes. And just be open to all the healing vibes that are coming your way. So that's awesome. Anyway, on that positive note, yeah, just a reminder, my afternoon show is just going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week, and my nighttime show, I'm going to hold off on it until Friday, and I'm going to relaunch it Friday, and hopefully it's going to be like, it'll blow you away. Hopefully, that's the goal, but I want to put together some more stuff to put together a better show for you. Anyway, that's all I have for you all today. If you made it this far, be sure to smash the like button. I will see you on Wednesday, right here, noon on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East. And Lucid says, I love you guys. Right back at you. I'm so glad. I'm so glad to get this good news from you. We're all sending you healing vibes, so rest well and let that happen. Anyway, we'll see you all next time. Peace.